And I didn't realize it all at the time, but then it kind of went to another level when I read Wayne Dyer's book, Wishes Fulfilled. Which again, Wayne Dyer, he passed away several years ago, but he was quite an inspiration to many people for many decades. He really kind of had like such insightful, motivating elements to the things that he said, and it was so clear, and it just resonated with me. And it's almost like it feels like what resonates with any one of us, but whether it's among us or whether it's things we hear, or things that are said, or songs we hear. It's like we're on the same frequency as that, right? And we connect with that. And so the biggest thing that out of that book that I got was, it first of all, it helped me kind of build upon what Joe Dispenza had helped me do, which is like really sit down and think about what it is that I want out of my life and what it is that I want out of every present moment, because that's really the key, is living in the present moment and not thinking about, using his words, the familiar past or the predictable future. It's like, even if you're in a random place and you say that to somebody, they're like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool. That's actually, that might, and again, if that just instant like awareness to that is almost like we know that is truth. It's like we have an inner knowing of what's right and what's wrong, and we all, some will say yes or no to that, but I think a lot of us are truly grounded in that point, right? And so I think at the end of the day, the biggest thing that from Wayne Dyer that I learned is to just kind of take it to the next level and really just simplify the focus on being, and then I started tying things together, and what Joe Dispenza had said, and he says all the time, is we're just light. Everything around us is light and information, right? And so my interpretation of that is like, all right, so like everything that we see and everything that we are is the light, and the information, maybe it comes from our consciousness. Maybe it comes from us. Maybe we're the ones that are, have the ability to do something. And so, it really just kind of took off and became this thing in which every time I meet someone, I don't know if this is something from the meditation where, he says every person you interact with feels better having come in contact with you. Why not? Like every time I meet someone, I have the energy of, how are you today? So good to meet you. What's your name? Just even asking somebody's name. Nobody asks for anybody's name anymore. They just like, oh, okay, bye. Thanks. Barely, right? But why not? Whether I was at a rental car place in New Jersey a few weeks ago, and these super people, thank you so much, Marilyn, for helping me find a great car. Jose checking me out, being able to go through we're all people. We're all human beings. And the simple gesture of being able, first of all, to have the energy to be able to do that. I had never done anything like that before, ever, never. I would always be the shyest kid on the playground. I'd barely even want to say a word, much less, ask their name and try and have a brief, 15 seconds of engaging conversation, and then they say, where'd you get that energy? I'm like, I don't know. I'm working on figuring it out. Let's figure it out together. So I'm like, it's all in us. We all have it. And I feel that. I feel that in my heart. I feel that in my soul, that we all have this. And, people say, well, what do you like? What is this? I said, well, I saw my friends from college a few weeks ago on the Super Bowl. They said, what are you on? And I said, life. I am on the energy of life. I am on life. And then I said, the best analogy I can give, kudos to my colleague Anton. Who's the king of analogies, this great Scotsman. And he's like, the analogy that I can give is I feel like I have the awareness of an adult, but the energy of a child. And it's like, wow, oh, and here we go. Two beautiful doves flying by. So if you hear, birds flapping, and that's another thing, like birds are all around, animals come around, things are happening, things happen in sequence, things happen in order. It's like people texting you when they say, oh, I was just thinking about you, or all that stuff. Like that just keeps happening more and more frequently. I don't know about anybody else, but that would be a rare occasion for me. And when it's happening like on a daily basis and it keeps continuing its momentum, it's like something's happening out there. And so, and then And then, so here we are, right? That's kind of the context of like things that I've read, things that I've seen, and helping understand that, coming to the realization that, what if we pulled little things here, little things there, little things here, and had that be something that we resonate with and that we accept as truth? And that what if we then, with that understanding and realization and acceptance, believe in ourselves to then become what we resonate with, so that we don't have to think about it. We just act and operate in that way, right? And so, like, it could very well be, something like you read a quote, or you hear lyrics of a song, or, you see all these things around you. And then again, you realize it, you resonate with it, you have a good feeling about it. And then if you reflect, or we reflect on things, it's kind of, the pieces kind of fall into place. Right. And